everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy, the Handmade Homeschooler, and today I'm going to give you a little bit of instructional advice as far as when you're teaching homeschool. But first, if this is your first time here, I want to welcome you to my channel. Make sure that you hit the like and the subscribe button because it really does help me and my channel out. And down below in the description box, I have links to free curriculum and a link to our free Facebook group where you can come in and ask questions about curriculum or any other homeschooling type of topics. So I get a lot of questions about why I don't teach the classes or why I don't teach every single class when it comes to homeschooling. I homeschool my kids, yet I only teach maybe about half of the actual classes myself. And the other classes are taught by other people, whether those are online instructions like Mr. Pudua of IEW or even my husband. So I thought it would be a good idea to kind of go over those and explain why we do that and the benefits of it, long-term and short-term, and really give you an idea of why maybe you would want to try this in your own homeschool too. So one of the most important reasons why I don't teach every class is because I'm preparing them for college and for life. Here's the thing about me doing all the teaching. While my little teacher heart would love to teach every single class and be kind of there over their shoulder all the time, it's not realistic if I'm trying to grow adults at the same time, especially as they get older. Now, this is not really for those younger grades, and I'll say that up front. I'm really talking about kind of kids my age, so middle and high school. I really focus on independence in my homeschool. So not only does my kids being independent when it comes to school bode well for my specific family situation. I have a brain condition and there are times when I just unexpectedly get sick and we never know how long that's going to be. So having kids who can work independently and know how to do those is a really good thing for me. But this is one of those things that's going to really pan out well for their entire life. So that's really what I want to focus on, is the independence factor here, and it really goes with that independence. If I'm going to teach my kids to be independent, then I really have to start it young. So yes, as soon as they can really start reading, I kind of start cultivating this environment of independence, and I really start teaching them how to take initiative, and that's kind of part of this. And you really do want to start that young. When they're young, before they can read, I give them directions, verbal directions, and I teach them how to follow those verbal directions. When they can read, I will write directions and teach them to do that. And then even when they're in high school, I don't really do a whole lot other than give them the schedules that are already given in the teacher books, and I let them go. And really, as long as I'm supervising and managing, I don't have to micromanage. And that's what's going to bode well for them when it comes to life skills. We're talking about life skills here. So they're going to have to know how to do this for college and for whatever job that they're going to have later on. They're not going to have mom to teach them how to do specific things all the time. So really, that's what I want to focus on, is how am I going to get them to a point where they can learn from people who are not me. I really want to focus on that with my kids. So having them learn from other people, even if it's via the internet, is a really good thing for them. So that's why I do like online instructors when it comes to things like IEW or teaching textbooks. Those are really great options if you are not like me and have a retired husband at home to kind of help you teach those classes. Those are other options available for you. And you can see what I mean in the link down below. I have free curriculum for IEW that's down in the links where you can go check that out, and you can download those, and there's videos and all kinds of cool things, and you can see how your child interacts with another person teaching them. And it's a really, really great way to kind of help them develop those skills. Even if it's a little bumpy at first, it's going to really pay off down the road. A long time ago when I started homeschooling, I knew that I didn't want to be the only teacher, and I knew that it would be a good idea to kind of pull other people in as we go along on our homeschooling journey, and being able to do that through programs like IEW or teaching textbooks or even having my husband here. Those are 3 good ways to have them learn from other people. And having them learn from other people is going to prepare them for college, really, because they're going to have to learn from other people. I can't teach them their college classes. So they are going to have to learn from other instructors. And if they are only used to me and the way that I teach, that could be a little bit of a bumpy ride for them when they get to that level. So kind of cultivating that now and having them learn from other people is going to help them a lot. So another thing that they're going to learn when they start learning from other teachers is they're going to learn how to adapt to other learning styles. Not every teacher teaches the same way. And when you have a different instructor, especially when it's not a in-person instructor, like your spouse, your children will be learning from a different perspective. They will be learning from somebody who teaches in a different style than you, and they're going to have to really adapt to that. And that is a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Those are actually good skills to have because they're going to have to do this throughout life. Throughout life, they're not going to be able to learn every single skill from mom. So it is going to be a good thing for them down the road to learn those skills now so they can adapt later. You want to be able to prepare your kids to leave the nest. And, as parents, it's hard to think about that, but at the same time, it's a good thing to think about and it's a good thing to prepare your kids for. So one of the things I really want to focus on with my kids, again, is those other people and bringing those other people in. And although I don't go with the whole "it takes a village to raise a child" type of mantra, I do think it's a good idea to have other people come in sometimes, of course, under parent supervision, that can teach your child so your child can have the skills to adapt to other people before they go out into the world. Because really, that's our goal, is to have our kids go out into the world and be prepared. And we prepare them even more by homeschooling them. And there's so many opportunities out there for us as homeschooling parents, and we want to give our kids all of those opportunities. So it's kind of one of those things that I really just wanted to take advantage of because I had the opportunity to do so. And so I think it's a good idea for parents to do that just so they can get used to other people. When they go to their first job, right, they're going to probably have a little bit of a learning curve to learn whatever skill they need to do, whether that is washing dishes or laying tiles. Somebody's going to have to teach them the way that they do it at that business, right? So it's not going to be you. It's going to be somebody who works at that business, unless you have a family-owned business or whatever. But most likely, if you're like, 90% of the United States, they're going to be off working at, another business in your town. And there's somebody else is going to be teaching them those skills. So they are going to have to learn how to adapt to another person teaching them. Another reason why it's a good idea to have other people kind of come in and teach your children is because it gives them a little bit more initiative too. I really think it teaches them initiative. And I've seen this happen with my own kids, even in those lazy teenage boy phases. I have seen them grow and I've seen them kind of take charge because they don't have to rely on me for a lot of things. If another person is teaching them, especially if it's an online class, they already know where it's at. They can set up their class online by themselves. I taught them how to do that. So they end up taking initiative as soon as they're ready with whatever subject they have. They get up, get their books, they go out to the computer, and I see them take charge of that and go ahead and start those classes on their own. So it really teaches them not just, kind of like scheduling and routine, but it also teaches them a little bit of initiative too behind all of this. So it does teach them more than just a few skills. You're going to see a lot of things kind of happen and string along as they go through these classes with other instructors too. This is also going to challenge your student, which is a good thing. We want our kids to be challenged, especially academically. They're going to have to not just adapt to their learning style, but they're going to have different kinds of assignments than you would normally teach them. When you're talking about different teachers teach differently. And you know, the teacher that I had next door to my classroom taught differently than me, and vice versa. We never taught the same way, even if we're teaching the same material. So kids in her class might be doing one thing, but kids in my class will be doing something completely different. I'm going to teach one concept one way, and she may teach a different concept a different way. That's okay, as long as your students are learning. And with courses with different teachers, that is a great thing for your kid, because they're getting a variety of different teaching styles, but they're getting a different variety of learning too. So they're going to be learning in a different way, which is great. And they're going to be getting different kinds of assignments. So maybe you like to give worksheets, let's say, for example, but this teacher might like to teach in a totally different way with more research papers, or teaching them how to do that, which is a really cool thing. I love research papers. I think that they're a great way to learn, and you end up giving your kids so many different skills when you have them write research papers. Also, math. Not every teacher is going to teach math the same way, even if it's laid out in one way. You could have 3 teachers teach the same math problem 3 completely different ways. So maybe you're teaching math and you want to say, you know, I want to try something like teaching textbooks where they teach the math lessons for you. I never teach math. I have teaching textbooks do it for me. I'm not great at math. So I'm not confident enough really to teach math, but let's just say I thought I was really proficient in math and I really wanted to teach my kids. Well, if I teach the problem one way and they teach it another way, as long as they're getting the correct answer, it really doesn't matter. However, they might be learning a totally different way from somebody else. So they're going to learn different ways of getting information, whatever that information might be, whether it's, you know, a division problem or a paper on George Washington. They're going to be learning and doing those activities in a different way with different instructors. So really, you're going to, by giving your child different instructors, you're going to be giving your child more of a variety of learning styles, and you're going to be giving them a variety of new skills when you bring in those other people. So it is a really great way to kind of make your child more well-rounded, maybe you would like to say. But all in all, they are great skills to have, and this is going to bode well for them all throughout their lives. And I think it's a great thing to kind of introduce into your homeschool if you haven't yet. One last thing I want to mention too, it does give me a break. But that's not the main reason why I do it, which is why I kind of left it for the tail end of this video, because yes, there are days, especially when I'm sick, especially when I'm sick for an extended period of time, that I need that break. I need somebody else to come in and do some of these classes for me. And having other people teach these classes and kind of be in charge of these classes for me, it's a really great thing sometimes. But that's not the main reason why I do it. I do it to help them in their lives, not really just so I get a break from teaching. But it does give you that little bit of a break where if my oldest is on the computer, let's say doing his IEW class, and my youngest is doing something else like science or something where I'm actually teaching the class, I can be more focused and work on science for like that 45 minutes and kind of focus on him, where we wouldn't be doing that if I had to do 2 classes at the same time. So it really gives me some time to focus on one child while another child is busy, and I really don't have to do anything for that. So that's also something to think about too when we're talking about different teachers coming in and you not even teaching the class. Alright guys, that is all I have for this video. Hopefully it was helpful for you and gave you some things to think about for your own homeschool and how you are teaching, or even just start introducing some independence to your kids too. That is a great thing. Independence is something that has made my homeschool so very sweet and enjoyable. So I really push the independence factor just because I know how beneficial it can be for homeschooling parents to have their kids know how to do that and to be able to take initiative and things like that. So hopefully it was a good one for you. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Happy homeschooling.